Boom. And we are live. Welcome to The Contradiction with myself, Byron McDonald, and Lethea McCann. As I say each week, Facebook is a private owned interface. So if you do get logged off, just hop back onto the page and you'll find a new link there. And we are also multi-streaming on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So you don't have excuse not to watch and to comment and engage.
Hey, listen up. If you're lucky enough to fall in love with someone, I love you. Try not to ruin it by Googling them. Okay.
The Contradiction with Lethea McCann and Byron McDonald.
Just to make sure you don't forget what we look like.
So as I say each week, The Contradiction is about bringing different viewpoints together and allowing you, the viewer, the opportunity to comment and engage and share your viewpoint on the topic. So each week we get a new guest host with a new topic to discuss and contradict each other's viewpoints. So our guest host for tonight's show is a phenomenal guest, and it is Karima Abdurrahman from Cape Town, South Africa. Karima identifies herself as a voluptuous colored woman, and she is passionate about empowerment and building self-awareness and encourages feminism. Karima also spent 15 years of her life pursuing her academic and professional career in learning and development, and recently decided to venture into her new business called Kaleidoscopic, where she works as a learning and development coach and facilitator. So without any further ado...
But before I bring on, am I going to be attacked today? Because I'm the only male here today.
Excuse me, I've been on many occasions the only female.
And I'm not feeling well. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't
look for sympathy, Byron. Het gaan nie werk, okay?
Hi, Karima. How are you?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing? How's life been treating you? We're all going through still COVID. It's been a year later. But how you been, man? What have you been up to lately?
I'm good. Firstly, I'm so happy to be having this conversation with you from the comfort of my home. My cat is on the other side. I've been locking down and staying safe and trying to find the balance between living my best life and, still being safe and not going out too much or seeing too many people, which initially was easy for me to do because I'm generally a homebody. But I have to admit that I've actually started missing people. Yeah.
Excellent. So, Karima, you know exactly why we got you onto the show, and seeing that you are all about self-awareness, this topic I think is a really, really excellent topic. Finding yourself before finding love.
Have you found yourself, Karima? I don't know. Have you been lost?
You know what? I'm not, firstly, I just want to say that I'm not lost, okay? And I think that was the first thing that I want to clarify is that I'm not lost. I'm not suggesting that anyone else is lost and you have to go on this treasure hunt journey. But I do want to say that there is a world of awareness that awaits you if you decide to embark on this path of self-awareness and really getting to know who you are. And so for me, when I think about the topic around finding yourself before finding love, I think it's about taking the time and energy to acknowledge that self-care is more than facials and bath bombs. That it's about getting to know who I am, getting to know the uncomfortable parts of myself, and really being able to sit in that. And that's not always pretty. And that can sometimes, my recommendation or my personal experience is that I have chosen to embark on that journey before, moving into my next relationship. I'm single at the moment. So I guess finding yourself before finding love applies literally to my life. But I don't think that it has to be that way. It's about self-awareness.
So Sharon starts out of the blocks and she said, how do you find yourself without love? Woo! That's not actually without love. Yeah, it's true. That's a good question. Meditate on that question. That's an awesome question, yeah. To meditate on the question before answering, because I know the defense will say, what do you mean? I find myself without love every day. No. Listen to that question. How do you find yourself without love?
The question is, Sharon, are you referring to romantic love or are you just referring to love in general?
Because I think, what is love? That's the whole point.
I think we all possess love within ourselves. We cannot go looking for love or any romantic relationship if we don't even have love within ourselves. And I think that is also where self-awareness comes from, is learning to love yourself, learning to know what it is that you want out of life, what makes you happy, what is your vision, what is your goal. And too many people are looking for love and looking for love in the wrong places when they first need to look for that love within themselves. So they look for love. They want somebody to love them because they want to feel validated. They want to feel valued. They want to feel that they are worth something. They want to feel that they are worth being loved. But you need to first love yourself in order to know that you are worthy of everything that you want in this world. So finding yourself before finding love, I do think that the question, when it comes to finding yourself, and I think a lot of people say, well, you know what, how can you say I need to find myself? Because in the first place, I'm not lost. But yet there's a lot of people that are lost within their own mind. They don't know where they stand within themselves, where their place is within this world, trying to figure out their purpose and what makes them happy. I think that can be classified as being lost because you're lost within your own mind. So you're living your life not for yourself, not for what makes you happy, not for what you value, but you're living your life in order to please other people. I think that can be a form of being lost because you're lost in other people's perspective of what happiness is.
I'm loving when, Karima, if you look at Byron and Lathia, they couldn't do it finding themselves first.
They couldn't do it finding themselves.
Mocking us. Karima,
what's your take?
I think you touched on so many valuable gems, and I want to latch on to the bit around self-love. And I've been thinking quite a bit around self-love and, am I able to love someone before loving myself? And I think that there's a part of us that needs to reflect on self-love and worthiness within ourselves. And acknowledging that I am enough as I am, where I am at right now. I think there's a part of us that needs to focus on that quite a bit. And oftentimes the best time is to do that when you are by yourself, when you are able to give yourself that full attention and energy. Not saying that it can't be done within a relationship, because I've also learned how to love myself through the love of others. I've also learned to see the beautiful parts of myself through the ways that my friends and family and even the romantic loves from the past has seen me. But I've found that this energy that I've given to myself, because I'm the type of person that really, gives my 150% into a relationship, I know that I can get consumed, or used to get consumed in that romantic endeavor, that there were parts of myself that I neglected. So for Karima Abdurrahman, I had to really tap into, who am I and who am I loving? And I think for a lot of us, that self-love journey is a very difficult one to embark on. Yeah.
So I'll probably answer the question, but it's directed to you. So I said, Karima, you have found yourself without love. What advice would you share with others as to how you achieve that? Look, for me, I don't know your journey, but for me, you can't even touch finding yourself without loving yourself. Love needs to be involved when you find yourself, because that's the foundation of almost every emotion that evokes out of a human being, So when you ask the question, I don't know, Karima might answer differently, but from my side, man, ek het verbal diarrhee en ek moet praat. So from my side, you need to understand, when you have this fulfillment, it is because of love. And Sharon has said something very profound and so simplistic. She said, no one can self-love without love from others. You need to give to receive. You need to be able to be compassionate, empathize, understand humanity. Well, why do you think you have people that's feminist? Why do you think you have people that's empaths and stuff like that? Because they understand what it feels like to be hurt, what it feels like to give, what it feels like to have compassion. This is why you have a lot of people that's introverts in the world. They misunderstood and think they're selfish and they only care about themselves. But in the end of the day, they actually have so much love that they don't know how to pour out, but they understand the love of giving love. So that's how they found themselves. I don't know what you want to say on that, Karima, but that's just my standpoint on that.
I think that's valid. And tapping into what Sharon says, reading a comment, immediately I was like, whoa, you can love yourself without the love of others. But then I thought back to the relationship between a parent and a child, and a parent teaches a child how to love, and how we grow up and how we are shown love helps us evolve as an adult. And so, yes, I could agree with you, and a little bit to what Sharon was saying, that we are shown love and we are able to love ourselves through the love of others. However, sometimes people don't grow up in healthy environments, and they are given an unhealthy perspective of what love is or what it could be. And so oftentimes we walk around not understanding what love is. And this is self-love and romantic love, and even love between family. I mean, how many toxic family situations do we have? Because love is more than saying I love you. Love is in actions. If I love my brother or my siblings, I'm going to do things for them that make them happy. And if I'm a shit sibling, I can't say that I love them. I don't think I can say that if I'm the worst sibling ever. So I think, I think we learn over time, and then I think there comes a point in our lives where we may have to unlearn and relearn how to love.
Exactly.
I totally agree with you, Karima. That whatever type of love you've experienced as a child will transcend into your adulthood. And like you said, that's why you get so many toxic relationships, because people after whatever childhood trauma they have gone through, they did not take the time to reflect and figure themselves out to know what it is that they need to unlearn and relearn. So, but that's the thing, though. That's what intimate relationships teaches us. It teaches us the flaws. It teaches us what we need to work on. And I think that many a times, only when you've gone through heartache, or only when you've gone through some sort of failed relationship, or even issues within a relationship, you begin to realize what it is within yourself that you need to work on. That is only if you do not have the victim mentality and choose self-development all the time.
Exactly. Karima, you still there? I don't know if it's our signal, but please let us know if it's our signal or Karima's signal on that side. Please let us know. I don't know if we lost on that side, but I just wanted to read out that comment also on that side.
Okay, so
Karima, I don't know if you got that on that side also, or it was a bit delayed.
I got it.
Okay,
perfect.
So I just want to read out this comment from YouTube. So, being in a relationship filled with the freedom to love and guided by love was my real safe space to find my authentic self and learn to love me fully. So she said, being in a relationship filled with freedom
to love.
Yeah, to love and guided. Very important word there. Guided by love was my real safe space to find my authentic self and learn to love me fully. So I love what she's saying, and I don't know if you ladies agree. She's actually, for me, if I understand, she even knows herself while she was in a relationship. She didn't wait to find herself, to find love, because this is everybody first wait to find yourself. You can't even experience yourself if you don't even know how you are against other people.
I think also what her comment, what she's trying to state, is that she was able to find love, authentic love within herself through a relationship. So the relationship that she was in allowed her to created a safe space for herself to find her authentic self and to learn to love herself fully. That's what I'm getting from her comment. If I am correct, please give a thumbs up, Faye, if that is what your comment means. Karima, what is your take on that, where she's stating that she has found herself through love?
I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I see that as I reflect back now to parts of my own previous relationships, where my previous partner, I believe, was one of the first people who taught me how to love myself. I mean, he would say things like, "You're beautiful, you're awesome." And initially I was uncomfortable with that, because I was like, what's this guy about? What's his buzz? And now looking back, I can see that at that point in time, I was still grappling with this notion of love and self-love and getting it in a relationship. But I also acknowledge that he gave me the space to explore these beautiful parts of myself. And so on that level, I can resonate with what Faye is saying, that you can, learn to love your authentic self through the love of someone else. My experience, though, and I mean, I hope that in 5 or 10 years from now, that I go through my Facebook memories and watch this video, and that my story has changed, because it means that I've grown. But for me, where I'm at right now, my journey of self-love has been centered around me not existing in a romantic relationship. So it was primarily as me, Karima, and then also focusing a lot more on building relationships with family. So I didn't always have really strong bonds with my family, and my love for myself has grown in having those bonds strengthened. So one of my love languages is quality time. And I realized that when I'm stressed or not feeling the best version of myself, I self-isolate. And so I've had to pull myself out of that comfort zone to actually connect with family, and even connect with friends as I'm learning to love myself and learning to love connection.
Yes.
In that journey of seeing that I am awesome and that, I am worthy of love. For me, it happened outside of a romantic relationship.
I just want to go to Hailey's comment, if you can just move.
Okay, Hailey's on top.
So Hailey says, learning to love ourselves before we are able to openly love one another often involves unbecoming all that we thought we should be to be accepted by our peers, and learning to love and accept ourselves and was all in the process. When we know to work on ourselves and make ourselves good potential partners rather than seeking the perfect partner, when there really is no perfect partner, we will naturally gravitate to and attract the like-minded partners. I love that.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Hailey's
I
my
agree.
100%.
100%. I agree with that. Totally.
And that's the thing. You focus so much on wanting to find the perfect partner, but are you being the perfect version of yourself that you can be for somebody that you'd like? So if, for example, if you're looking for certain qualities in a partner, do you possess those similar qualities? Are you are you kind? Are you compassionate? Are you loving? You cannot expect qualities within a partner if you don't have that within yourself.
Let me. This might be a unfavorable just a thing I'm going to throw out there. So I don't follow this Harry and Meghan thing. I really don't follow it, but I follow things like that to see people's personalities and their traits, right? So life is about patterns, and life's about what you do in your life. All add up to patterns and stuff like that. Everybody's on Meghan's side. Everybody's on this whole situation side and all those things, right? Now we need to understand, first of all, everybody that's comparing their situation to theirs, we speak to a lot of people that's rich, that's poor, about relationships. And we need to understand there's this thing called as a class bracket. Certain people's value changes and they what they chase in life changes. We don't know what's her intention. First of all, we could say it's pure. She loves the guy. Don't look back on the past. No one can be shamed on their past or nothing. But patterns speak for itself. Now you need to ask yourself, look here, like I said, I don't know the history. I only went to go look it up because it was all interesting for everybody. The girl doesn't have a relationship with the family, mother, everybody. It might be all for valid reasons, right? Everything might be for valid reasons. Now a girl from the Cape Flats compares herself to Meghan, calls herself, yes, her husband's a queen, he's standing up for her and stuff. Now you get the same people use that same traits as a toxic trait to pull people away from their families. There is people in families with husbands that's mothers are bitchy, as you would like to call it. That's not good for them. But then again, there's a woman that doesn't acknowledge that they are maybe the toxic side. You see, this is the catch-22 of bandwagoning on situations of someone else's feelings. This is where this topic is very important about finding yourself. So you need to understand that everybody, you as a lady, are all individuals. This is why you won't have the perfect partner, as Hailey said, because you need to understand what fulfills you, what makes you happy, what are you chasing to get out of this life. So if you keep on seeing comparison of someone else just building themselves, their husband is standing by their side, their husband is doing this, their husband is pushing family one side, whatever, that might not be his way of life, your new partner, but his other pros are overweighs that. But because the general population and popularity of the topic chases that side, everybody and every lady, a lot of ladies generalize and say, this is how I want to be treated. So we are in a self-absorbed world that's so obsessed with himself. I don't call it self-love. We're in an entitled world of youngsters, myself a millennial, where we're entitled to love. We don't say that love is something that gradually happens. We say, I need to find myself first. I need to love myself first. I need to love myself before I can love anyone else. I need to fill my cup. No, you just need to give so you can take, so you can pass on, so you can give. Because life is about connection. You need to connect with your cat, with someone else, with any other living thing in this world, because that's what love's about. Just my opinion.
Well, okay, Karima, would you like to go or can I follow?
No, you go for it. I think I want to think a bit.
So, just to touch on a point that you made, that in today's day and age, people are all about finding themselves, loving themselves, etc. But the topic finding yourself before finding love, I think that even through failed relationships, even through, I think you can still find yourself, because you won't know what you're looking for if you haven't perhaps been in a situation where you've been given things that you don't want. So even with myself, if I look within my own experience, I learned so much about what I need to work on through my previous relationships, what it is that I want for my future, because I was young and I was naive. And going through that experience has matured. I've gained so much clarity. I think I've matured through that experience as well. So I needed to go through that because that relationship helped me. And I think that each version of yourself, we're always changing. I don't think that we can ever say that we know where we are, but I don't think we can ever say that this is who I am and I'm never going to change, because time and experiences changes you all the time. And I feel that every version of yourself is a draft of who you eventually are going to be. And it serves as your soul's purpose to then find out what your soul needs out of this life. So I even finding yourself, and here's the thing, if we see ourselves as spiritual beings having a human experience, then we won't think of ourselves as finding ourselves, because we will know that we are first spiritual, and this human experience allows us to have our soul, or our whatever you want to refer to it as, experience this physical world.
I want to go to that comment, but I just want to take this one here because I don't like dodging stuff when it's directed to me.
Okay.
So Karima, I don't know if you wanted to jump in there, but I'm just going to read out this comment. So it says, you need to give to receive, Byron. I think it is the other way around. You need to be able to receive, find yourself and love yourself before you can give for yourself to others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Now, you see, I've just answered that earlier without even reading that comment. What I said earlier was we are so obsessed with this cup, with this empty cup. Do you need to understand God has fulfilled us with a cup that is more full than what we know? We create problems with this thing, our mind. In the end of the day, when you understand that the world has no problems, you're born into a world that is so beautiful, that's given to you. Everything is given to you. You are allowed to do things in this life. You are not entitled to anything in this life. So if you understand that everything is not a problem, but only challenges that you have to overcome because of the mind that creates challenges, and a little thing, us as humans has set ourselves up like this with technology and all these things, we have to catch up to us. We have to go learn, study how to stay in this technological age. So without mumbling on, I just want to say that finding yourself and filling your cup, you need to understand your worth is there without having to find it. When you understand that this is that you look at life with more of appreciation, then you'll give without expecting to receive. We are so obsessed to be able to receive. But darling, we all can receive. We know how to receive. We're born to receive because we have received this life. And the more we understand that, the more we will look at this beautiful world and this beautiful life and love people with their flaws and with their insecurities. But yeah, Karima, sorry, there was a question. Before I go to the question, you probably want to answer.
There's two things that I want to touch on. So I want to touch on what Lethea spoke of earlier around previous relationships. And I'm going to park that one. Lethea, please don't let me forget that. But I want to come at you right now, Byron.
Shoot it.
Because this wonderful utopia that you are explaining, where our cups are full and we can receive and life has no problems, that doesn't exist.
Listen to that. What I said. Life has no problems. Life has challenges. We create problems in life. You can't have a problem if you don't desire something. Get that?
No. The way that life is set up and the way that different people are living different experiences we can't say things like everyone is ready to receive, because we aren't. Some people are so broken and so haunted by some of the demons that they are chasing or running away from, that they don't know how to receive love, that they don't know what a full cup looks like. Some of us have existed in times and spaces where our cups have been empty. I agree with you in saying that, yes, we are born into this world and, God loves us, or whoever, is in charge. He's given us this amazing love.
I don't want to burst there. Not even in that sense. If you listen to what I said, not just about God loves us. We are born into a space where we want to live. We want to be here. We are born into a space we don't appreciate. The only way you can fill this imaginary cup is when you appreciate life. That's
no, absolutely.
Simply put it like that.
Absolutely. And for some people that's hard. For some people, they don't know how to do that. Some people are living such unimaginable existences that for them to appreciate love is hard. And then do we say that they don't know how to love, or they know how to love but they are being difficult, or they're finding challenges for themselves? There are people walking around in everyday clothes like you and me who hate themselves so much, who haven't gone on that journey of, self-exploration, self-care, self-awareness. Like, that journey has to start from within. And for some people, it's just, it's hard. Gosh. So that's one point. And then I want to double back because I'm going to forget.
Lathia,
So,
that's what I wanted to say.
Lathia. Yes, Lathia. So, Lathia, you said something interesting earlier around past relationships and how that has helped us to grow us. And I think that is so spot on, because there's a lot of people that have this notion that, if I've broken up with an ex, it's a year of my life that I've wasted, or 6 years of my life that I've wasted. And you actually haven't. You have spent however much time, learning to get to know yourself, even through the horrible times and a broken relationship. You are getting to understand yourself. And some people don't have, I almost want to say, the luxury of a broken relationship to learn. Some people have to do that in marriages. Some people have marriages that they don't want to walk away from. Some people have to do that in long-term relationships that, for financial reasons or whatever reasons, they cannot walk away from. And that, gosh, I mean, I can only imagine how hard that must be, to try and find yourself in this bucket of toxicity that you're trying to work through.
Of course. And, just to touch on what you just mentioned there, Karima, walking away from that relationship was the start of my self-discovery journey as well. Because I needed to love myself enough. I needed to value myself enough to have the courage to walk away. And that was the easy part. The difficult part started after I left the relationship. But you need to make that conscious decision to say, this is, I haven't given myself what I need, and this is my opportunity to do so. Because if you're going to stay in something that makes you unhappy, then it means that you are not loving yourself or valuing yourself enough to know that you deserve better than what you are getting in that moment.
Maybe I should ask you that, guys, or tell you guys a little story or something. So, look here, I'm a guy that's always been a giver. I've been set up giving. I've been pushed over my friends. I've been through divorce. I have stage 4 cancer. Don't want to throw it out there, but I just want him to grasp the concept of why I'm fearless today, the person that I am. You see, a lot of people find the route, because there's a lot of motivational speakers out there, and all of them preach the same thing. And maybe they're right, because they all say the same thing. Find yourself, love yourself, fill your cup. Boom. But I say this, where I stand on the point of giving, we on this obsessive world of receiving. I'm going to go back to it. And I understand not all of our minds are strong enough to overcome certain obstacles and certain challenges in our life. I totally agree with that. I had to understand that when I had to understand some of my friends that's depressed when I speak to them, because I was never in that boat. But do you know why? Maybe it's my naivety when I was younger, by being pushed over by my friends, by being pushed over by peers, by being used by people. But not once did I stop giving. You know, when I gave, now I'm so fearless because I've always given. I don't have this expectation of waiting for people to tell me, but oh wow, you've done this for me. No, the world today we live in, everybody's like, yeah, when you do something for somebody, they don't notice it. But soon as you do something for them, they notice it. Because everybody wants recognition. And this is the human mind. The human mind is set up and obsessed. This is what they feed off us of. When we in the workplace, I recognize that you did well, you become a manager, or you get an increase, or this happens. It's the recognition of the mind to feed your dopamine in your body. As soon as you understand you need recognition from no one, that you are a natural giver, you have pure intentions of what you put on in life, you will live fearlessly. I'm going to tell you now, there's not a scared bone in my body of a word that comes out of my mouth, because everything I say is what I want to say. I don't say it for the sake of spreading news, for the sake of creating just content for stuff like that. I say it because it's the value I want to give in the world. It's the knowledge I feel I've learned from connecting with people that loves. And without people, without living things, what are you going to love? You're going to love yourself, because us as humans are spiritual beings with energy that vibrate with each other. Have you ever noticed when you speak about someone, that person somehow pops up at your house? That's how strong our energy of connection are. So we need to understand, I'm not pushing you away when I talk about you need to fill your cup. Do what you feel is right for you. This is my opinion about appreciation. The more you get to understand that you appreciate this life, you open your eyes and say, I get to do this. I get to be. I get to live. I get to put on my shoes. I get to speak. I cough profusely all week. I'm sitting here without an inch of a cough. Now I don't know how, but because I get to do it, I get to enjoy this moment speaking to the two of you, of understanding where you guys come from. But I want the world to understand my feeling towards self-love. Self-love needs to be an expression of appreciation, not of expression of just receiving. That's how you fulfill your cup, by giving. But anyway, I'll take a comment before I go to you ladies. Also, because
Karima, is there something you wanted to say before we move over to the comments?
So I think in that lens of appreciation, appreciating oneself, appreciating the opportunity, this gift that we've been given of life, and also the gift of connection. I'm getting a strong theme of connection
that's it.
From what you were talking about. There's this strong theme of connection. And I think that what's important to note is that self-love in any format is not selfish.
Exactly.
And one of the comments, I read it earlier, was it could be as simple as enjoying a cup of tea without interruptions. And it could be as grandiose as, taking yourself on a holiday for a month and, not telling anyone where you're going and just, going. And it could be as crazy as that. But I think what's core for me is the element of appreciation and connection. And I think, I want to tap into that a little bit more.
That's my foundation of everything I do. Since my so-called adversity and life-changing experience, I have understood, and it's something I've done all my life. It's not something that just happened overnight. People think it's because, you have cancer, is like this, blah, blah. No, it's because I understood this is why I thrive through my adversity, why I thrive through my divorce, because of connection. If I did not meet her, if I did not meet the people in my life, like your friend Lindy, People like that. There's people in your life that you meet. My friend Malvin, my ex-wife, if I didn't meet her, my kids, if I didn't have those connections, I would not have been able to speak these words that I speak, because the experience of that connection wouldn't have been able to give back to me. That's loving yourself, to acknowledge yourself, to understand, because we are already living in a world of unknown, because we don't know where we're going after this. We premeditate and understand and think this is where we're going. So we have to create religions, we have to create all these things to make ourselves understand something, because we don't want to be lost as humans. That's one thing a human don't want to be. So we push that aside. But I want to go to the comments, because you know, guys know I get bubble diarrhea.
We haven't actually touched. If you can just move up a little bit up,
So yeah.
because there's a few comments that we missed. Claudine says, every challenge and every failed relationship teaches you a little more about yourself and teaches you what you will and won't accept. Those lessons add to the love that you find for yourself.
We just go a couple, maybe on
Just go
YouTube
up,
or so.
please.
I think we touched on
Have
these
we-
ones.
have we
Yes,
done
we have
that?
touched on.
Okay.
Maybe just this one also, Alison.
So Alison says, I must admit, I have problems valuing myself. Is that the same as not loving yourself?
Oh wow,
so that,
we can touch there now.
that's a lovely question.
And then on the YouTube side,
Faye says, perhaps you're saying we don't have to find the love within ourselves, but instead remove the self-created problems that are hiding our innate ability to love.
oh wow, two more if we
Ah.
can take two more.
Silvio says, I always advise my peers that that struggle to find love. Number 1, take a year off. Number 2, get your body right. Number 3, get mind tight. Number 4, image together. And then 5, purpose of point.
Boom, love
Game
number 5.
on lock. And then get back out there.
I love number 5, purpose. Purpose. That's so important. That keeps us fighting. But anyway, can we take two more, ladies? Are you okay?
Yes, Lauren says,
Lauren says, I agree wholeheartedly with
with
Karima.
Karima, some of us give to the point of breaking ourselves, especially parents. Filling your cup can be something as simple as, okay, so that is
Drinking
what? Drinking a cup of coffee, of a cup of tea without interruptions. And then Gino says, hey there guys, just want to say that self-love is the best love. You can't give a cup of love if you don't have one yourself. I mean, charity begins at home. Best remedy I found is just to be happy with your own space. If there is company from time to time, it's a bonus. But just try to be okay with being alone. That's your start of your foundation.
I agree.
Precisely.
I agree with that.
Gino's my guy.
Joel says, as women especially, we are taught and raised to be givers. We are not taught to receive. And our worth is based on how much we give. Receiving is seen as selfish, and it takes a conscious mind shift. Karima gave an excellent rebuttal.
So one last, we can't leave it hanging there. One last
So
comment.
Hayley says, you get to a place and age when you know what you don't want. That is liberating space. You learn to feel deserving of the kind of love that enhances who you are. When with humility, we learn to know our price tag and not diminish ourselves to earn the love of another being. We will become less hooked on love stereotypes and more open to people and situations that are real and raw and imperfect, yet beautiful. Many people fall in love with the idea of being in love and serially throw. Is there more to that?
With the idea, maybe I go here with the idea of really throw themselves at situations and people who are no good for them, rather than wait for the right one to meet us when we are whole enough to appreciate a healthy relationship. Sorry, another novel.
Always valuable.
But it's valuable. And that's what we want to share.
I love it.
I don't know what you want to touch. And you see, the show goes so quick. We're going to get closer to the end
love it.
and then be like, what?
Wow. That's such
No,
rich feedback, though.
I love that. I love the audience. Our audience has really this the content that they share, and this is why I said we don't change our module for no one. We do it because the content we share is true. It's not chasing anything. It's about sharing perspectives and thoughts, not us pushing a viewpoint upon you or your opinion. So it's your choice to listen to us and take in our opinion or just differ from it, because all of us don't agree on the same thing, but yet we feel we are happy at the space we are at. But anyway, ladies, you wanted to say.
So Karima, would you like to comment on the question that one of the guests, one of the, I think it was Faye, that said she finds
said
it difficult
perhaps.
about she finds it difficult valuing yourself, is that the same as loving yourself?
Oh, so that
It was that
it wasn't Faye. I think it was someone else. Is there a difference between loving yourself and valuing yourself?
I think for me, the two go hand in hand. And to touch on that, I would say that the journey of valuing yourself and loving yourself is one that is a lifelong journey. I don't think we wake up one day, I love myself, or I see all the value within myself. So firstly, I see them being, interlinked, and I see it being a lifelong journey. And to touch on another comment, I think it was Joel, who spoke of, as women, we are generally raised to be givers. And I mean, this can go for anyone. It doesn't only have to be women, but I get where Joel's coming from. So receiving love is difficult, and seeing your value and your worthiness outside of that narrative of being a giver can be very challenging for some people. So I think that constantly reflecting and having conversations around this concept of self-love, around the concept of, finding romantic love and what that looks like for you in a relationship or a person. But I think what's key, in addition to the connection that you spoke of, Byron, is a sense of vulnerability, because we need to allow ourselves to be seen by ourselves and by others. And I think at the core of what you were trying to explain earlier around the appreciation is that we need to allow ourselves to be seen. And I don't think we do enough of that.
Exactly.
We have these layers and walls, that we put up to protect ourselves from other people. And to some extent, I think we put up those layers and those walls, even in our own minds, to protect ourselves from ourselves. So I think that valuing yourself and loving yourself comes with connection. It comes with appreciation, and it comes with vulnerability and allowing yourself to be seen.
I just have a question, Karima or Byron. What does it mean to you to find yourself? What exactly does finding yourself mean to you?
Look, I'm not a great believer in the word finding yourself, and I don't know, Karima, we spoke about this. I'm not but if I have to understand people out there, right? I don't think we need to find ourselves. I think we need to, we say it so many times. I think we need to understand that we're on a journey, and the word that we use, the words that we use, guidance, challenges. I think those are the kind of words you can maybe use, and drop the words problems and stuff. And the main key thing, the process, your mind. So let me just go into this. If you want to go into this thing called finding yourself, then take as much life knowledge as possible from everybody you can learn. Look out for patterns. Look out for patterns. Look out for consistency. Look out for inconsistency, because this is what makes up your life. So if you see a partner treats you inconsistent, he's not messaging you back regularly, you then understand there's a pattern. This is a challenge. You make your mind up. Do I go ahead with it? This is called understanding yourself, valuing yourself, not loving yourself, valuing yourself and saying this is not part of what I want. Loving yourself is to understand that this is a gift. And I'm going to go back to it. People might lose me. That this is a gift and it's nice to be here. That's loving yourself and knowing that I am part of this life. I'm part of this journey. I am not put away from one side. Humans have created wealth. They've created money. They've created things that did not exist. Things that they created to make themselves, their ego, to make the ego stand out a little bit more, to make life easier for them. So you need to understand that you are born love. Even if you don't, how can I say, believe in a God or anything, you're born love because you've got this experience of life. If you believe you're a spiritual being, you experience a human experience. If you believe you're only a human that's only going to switch off when you're dead, understand it's an experience. So loving yourself is a given. It's given to you. You are you. Your mind stops you because of desires and things that's out there. So as soon as you understand you don't have to desire things, the sooner you understand that you are worth it, you are valuable, and you are.
Karima?
Maybe I want to hear your voice, Lethea.
Okay. So I feel that I wouldn't use the word finding yourself. I think, as I've mentioned earlier, we are constantly growing and developing ourselves. That is, if you choose to develop yourself, and if you it depends if you want to take on the self-discovery journey of developing yourself. So I think that throughout life we are constantly learning about ourselves, not finding ourselves, because if we're saying we're finding ourselves, at what point have we found ourselves exactly? You know, I think we always learning and developing ourselves, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, mentally. We need to go through this life in order to learn more about ourselves. And like Biden mentioned, you do that through connecting with other people, because we were born in order to connect. We're not born to live on an island. I think anybody can go on a self-discovery journey in a jungle and see how much exactly they're going to learn about themselves. You know,
You're going to learn how leaves fall. You're going to learn.
You will be able to learn probably some survival skills. But what exactly are you going to learn about yourself that you need to learn in order to help you through this journey of life? I don't think much being on your own on an island with some tigers and some elephants or whatever you want to
survival skills.
You know, you need to be able to connect with people within this world, your species. That's why you get dogs, you get cats, you get lions, because they need to connect. Everybody, all animals, they connect, and that is why we were created, to connect with other human beings, to go through this human experience, to know what love is. And we can only learn about love and I think that is why, personally, my belief is that is why we are here. That is why you find the physical world. That is why you are a human being, because in my belief, my creator wants us to experience love through a physical form. So that's my take on that topic. Karima, what is yours?
So I'm so glad that this finding yourself notion that, you know, we've been able to clear that up between the three of us. And, you know, it is a journey. There is no signpost or destination that you're going to get to, and then you're going to hit the jackpot on self-love or, you know, self-awareness. It's a continuous journey. And I think being open to what this experience gives us is important. Around, you know, whatever life throws at us, that we are able to go forth and conquer it with the bravery that we need to do. And I liked what Byron said earlier around, you know, looking at others and trying to find examples of what it is that you want and what it is that you want to create. I think that's important as you getting to learn yourself, getting to love yourself, or learning to love yourself. So that sense of connection is very important. And I have to admit that's something that I'm still working on to get right. It's something that, you know, some people do better than others. And I would recommend, because I think there was a question that came earlier asking around how can, you know, you tap into some more self-love. And my recommendation would be to start with, you know, one or two people in your inner circle first. That's what it was for me around self-love and around saying I love you to my family. That was hard for me. Saying I love you to friends. And now I do it with such ease, you know. I would say, okay, love you, bye, at the end.
Wow.
And not feel like, because initially it felt like, oh my goodness, they're going to think I'm weird.
Wow.
So that first step would be, you know, to test drive, letting yourself be seen with one or two people who are closest to you, people that you feel safe with.
Exactly.
And then taking it from there and building that connection and that appreciation for others and for yourself, you know, as you go along. It's a journey. We're not meant to have it all figured out in one go. Yeah.
I just love what Karima said there, because I think I had a similar experience, just learning to freely say I love you. For some it is difficult, but it could be because of whatever childhood trauma you had experienced. But that is then up to you as to whether you want to heal yourself, and only you can heal yourself. Nobody else can heal you. Yes, you can go through a relationship and the relationship can help you, but you need to really take responsibility and accountability to make the choice. This is what I need to work on, and this is the change that I would like to make within myself so that I can be a better person for myself and for those around me. Karima, however, we have come to the end of the show. It goes so quickly. So
even like Ika said, Justin Bieber part here, because if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself. I can't
Yes.
sing like Justin, but okay.
That is
So-
right.
what we usually do at the end of the show, we give our guest host an opportunity to share some value. It doesn't have to be about the topic. It can be anything you'd like to share with the viewers. So we'll give you a few minutes. Biden always likes to give it time, 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but I say, you know what, share whatever value you'd like. And
Then she cuts my stuff out for TV.
Yo, that's not
because he has
cool.
verbal diarrhea.
Cool.
I think everybody knows
No.
he does sometimes have verbal diarrhea. So yeah, we cut that out. Cut it
But
short.
one thing I want to say before you say something, I think you love yourself properly, because first step of loving yourself is acknowledging your flaws. Where you said you still need to work on how to connect, that is loving yourself. That I
Yeah.
agree with. To acknowledge your flaws.
Mm.
That's the first step. Not to acknowledge other people's flaws, how to protect yourself, but acknowledge your own first.
Yeah.
But yeah, Karima, you're going to be on the screen alone. We want you to share value, motivate them. Whatever you're going to do, tell them get to work. Whatever you want to do, we don't know, but you there.
So if I could share one gem with people around, where it is that we find ourselves in this very chaotic time. I mean, it's COVID and it's 2021, so you're not sure, is it still as bad as 2020? What is happening? And it's crazy. So my little gem that I could offer is to create moments of peace for yourself, create moments of kindness for yourself and for those around you. And it could be as simple as, having a cup of tea uninterrupted, or a cup of tea with your family. Or it could be a really big leap, like choosing to go for therapy, or finally buying that book on a topic that you know that you need to tackle, to look inward. Or it could be connecting with someone who you haven't spoken to for a long, long time. But in essence, in this very, very chaotic time, create those moments of love and kindness for yourself. It doesn't have to be big things. It can be small little moments, and do one today and tomorrow do another one. And if you skip the next day, that's okay too. That would be my value.
Love that.
Karima, thank you so much.
But just watch out for this boy. He's married, eh? This is a married guy. I'm going to skip him. I found my love.
I don't play with that. That's out of my league. That's above my pay grade.
He likes joking around. He likes joking around. But Karima, Lathia was going to say something. I like messing in her mouth.
So thank you so much for taking out the time to be a guest on the show today. I think all the viewers loved the topic and love all the value that was shared. If we can just go to Sharon's comment, she says, "Great topic was
No,
awesome."
she said
to
Byron has verbal diarrhea. She didn't say anything.
per me. So
Joking, man.
she says, "Great topic, was great. It was awesome to be a part of it. Thank you, Karima and Lathia." And then some more coming in. Great conversation. I definitely love what you all were saying. Crystal says, "Great show." So all the viewers definitely loved all the content that was shared here tonight. So thank you so much. So if you can just say bye to the viewers, and then we can end off the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Lathia. And thank you to all of the viewers. Thank you for sharing your space, your time, and your energy. And have a lovely evening.
And if you have 2 minutes, just wait in studio fast. We'll just end off and just like to thank you again.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
See you now. Bye.
Bye.
So if we can just end off with Hailey's comment, because Hailey's so enlightened. Hailey says, life and love are beautiful. As we travel, we evolve. Our needs change. We change. So beautiful to find that openness to learn and grow and accept ourselves and others in those we encounter along the way. Love is a beautiful thing. A simple gift from one soul to another. I hope we all get to experience that exquisite sharing in our lifetime. Thank you for such an amazing show. Thank you, Hailey, for this amazing comment.
And say my hair is long because no one noticed. No one comments. Byron, your hair looks nice and long and anything. I'm joking.
His hair grew back after the chemo, so now will I break. But Hailey, love that comment.
And thank you all for engaging always. And it's beautiful. I'm happy. I'm strong enough to be able to do the show. We had a phenomenal guest on also, and she brought so much value, perspective also. And that's
all
what we do.
the viewers that also engaged and commented, loved all the comments. I've learned from the show as well through your comments, and that is why we love having you engage and share your perspective, because it's not just about, as I say, it's not just about us babbling and not babbling, but Byron's verbal diarrhea, but it's also about your opinion and your perspective.
Wait,
to share
before we go, this is going to go on TV. Your hair looks gorgeous, Byron. Anyway, bye. So we'll see you guys, as we say each week. We love you and
good night.